them hard. Ain't no time for permission. From the weight room to the plate, we spit motivation. Yeah, we yell at the but it's pure dedication. Got the podcast booming, the whole team listen. Big dudes, big hearts, and the scholarship glistening. Big dudes, big hearts, and the scholarship glistening.
Hey, I'm Rob.
And I'm Chad.
And we're the Bucket Dads. Well, who do we got in the studio today, Chad?
Oh, we got Josh Jarvis, guys. Josh is a friend of ours from, well, we've been doing softball now since 10U together. Abby's first run at 10U, so it's been a year and a half.
Yeah, at least.
Did you do Park and Rec with us?
No.
So we met on the Bombers. That's where we Lady Bombers.
Yep.
Yeah, man. We're super stoked to have Josh out here. You know, we just want to have some regular bucket dads, man. Just guys like us who, you know, we got kids we got the same goals.
Traveling around the state, watching little kids play softball, killing it.
By the way, Kay Kinley is a freaking stud of a softball player. She truly is.
She's been a standout, like, ever since, like, early last year. She was a standout.
Yeah.
She works hard.
Yeah.
That girl's going to be a beast when she gets older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Josh and I, we met on the Bombers. You shortly then became one of the coaches.
Yep.
Like about midway, less than midway, about a quarter of the way into the season. I guess you probably.
Well, it was right after fall ball.
Okay.
At the end of fall ball, they asked me to join the staff. So
yeah, that was rad.
Yeah.
And we had that was a fun year, man. Lots of memories on that one, dude. That was rad. That was really our first stint at travel ball. You know, Rob and I met just before that, the summer before that, in Park and Rec.
Yep.
And Ziva and Abby kind of flourished on, did tryouts for the fall, and then boom, and here we are, a year and some change later. I guess a year and just a few months later.
Yeah. We were at the same tryout for Blaze.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. We were all there.
Community. Well, we had a great season. I'm glad.
It was fun.
We did, man.
It was fun.
Absolutely. And so there's that, dude. So, anyways, let's talk about you, Josh, and maybe your relationship and your daughter. Let's talk about Kay a little bit, man. She's a stud.
She's been. One day she came up to me and wanted to play softball. She's like, Dad, can I play softball? And I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And she dove into it head first as a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
And played rec ball and did well, and then played another season of rec ball, and then got asked to play for a travel team.
Yep.
As a 7-year-old on a 10U team, and went out there and did her thing, right?
Yeah.
And ended up doing really well.
Yeah.
And she works really hard, man. That girl she's a workhorse, like I was saying earlier. She's one of those kids that'll play 3, 4, 5 days a week and really just loves softball. Had some really good coaches and is really taken to it.
Yeah, she's committed. For just so everybody that's listening, how old is Kay?
She's 9 now. Yeah,
so
she's 9.
She's going to be a 3-year 10-yewer.
Yeah. I think this will be her last year at 10U.
She's probably definitely going up,
and I think she'll go up next year.
She's a stud for sure.
Yeah, she'll be able to handle it.
She's catching still.
Yep. She's been. She found her spot. She's a shortstop too. She's pretty dang good infielder. Got really good fundamentals, because that was one of the things when I told her when she wanted to play and she wanted to play travel ball at such a young age. I was like, you have to have the fundamentals,
100%.
right? Like if you're going to play with the bigger girls, you got to have the fundamentals to be able to throw the ball, because you're smaller. So you're going to have to be able to get your whip down. And she had some really good coaches, hooked up with some girls from Scappoose. We're from St. Helens. So she hooked up with some high school girls from Scappoose that went on to play college ball, and they kind of took her under her wing, and here we are. And now she's one of the other coaches on the Bombers is like, you should be a catcher. You would be really good at being a catcher. And I was like, really? Come on, man.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, Dad, I want to be a catcher. And I'm like, oh, okay.
All right.
And we got some used gear, and she played in it for about 7 months. And all of a sudden I'm like, wow, you're pretty good at this. And she's like, my gear sucks. I need new gear. And I'm like, all right.
By the way, it's $500.
Yeah. And then it's like $500 for gear. And I'm like, okay, we'll get some new gear.
Yeah.
And it went from there. And she's really,
she deserves every bit of it. She's worth every bit of it for sure.
She's put in the work.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you got some videos, some pictures or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, I got
some
some
little,
good.
some little screenshots, some little action photo shots. Like
Actually, I think I have one of her and Abby. I think I have one of Kay popping up and throwing a girl out at third, and Abby and her.
Yeah,
doing
that was a fun
thing.
little duo.
Yeah,
they were good little friends. By the way, they're just in the other room playing. Where's Ziva tonight? By the way,
Ziva's at home.
Ziva's at home.
She thought Abby was at youth group. You know what? She's got stuff to do, man. She needs to pitch in the garage.
No,
I
thought I totally told you that Abby was.
It's all good.
Yeah, my bad.
It's all good.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So catching, it's expensive.
it's so expensive. Well, and it's not just the gear, right? Because then
you got
to be a catcher, you got to have the lessons, right? Because if you want to be good at something, you got to put in the work, right? You got to go. Practice with the team is for team fundamentals, right? This is what we're going to do as a team. This is our situations and stuff like that. But for like hitting and for catching and all your skill position, pitching, all of that stuff, you guys know. I mean,
you're expected to get
you're a couple $100 a month in lessons on that stuff, right? So,
yep.
And it's a
ongoing.
It is, and it's a grind, right? And like she just did 3 days of pretty intense practices at 9 years old, and she's ready to go again.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what it takes, right? If you want to excel at the skill positions, you really have to put in your own work. And
absolutely,
as a bucket dad, right? Like it's hard to have them want to do it themselves, right? Like that's when you know. At
the younger ages, especially, you know, like now that Ziva's like a few months away from being 12, she's starting to want it. She's like getting up saying, "Hey, after school, I want to go sprints," or "Hey, we're going to the gym tonight," and all this other stuff. But like back when she was 9, no.
Yeah, and that's the hard part, right? Like because you want them to succeed, and she wants to succeed, but she's also a 9-year-old girl, right? She wants to sit around and do her nails and play on her phone or stuff like that, right?
Since she's playing up, she has to do it.
Yeah,
if she wants to compete.
Yeah, she has to.
Like, because you're already coming in and they're already looking at you like, okay, you're going to be the weakest link, so you got to prove them wrong. You got to out hustle them. You got to outwork them, and then you get success. So yeah, it's hard. You can't teach them to want it. Like you can kind of show them to want it, but like they either want it or they don't.
Exactly.
And that's the thing I talk about with Ziva all the time. I was like, I can't make you want it. You either want it or you don't. And if you don't want it, just let me know right now so I can save my ass a shit ton of money.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah. You're right about that.
If you want to go be just a first baseman or an outfielder or a second baseman, let me know right now. I'll tell the coach and we will cut you from pitching and you don't ever have to do it again. But if you want to do it, if you want to be a switch pitcher, like she, was talked about in the past, but it's kind of like really given up on it ever since she got on Blaze, because Gary, for example, like was kind of like, hey, like I just really don't want her to work on like her right hand, which most coaches, typically say work on one or the other, but she was throwing accurately left-handed, right-handed right around the Blaze time. She had a little more power right-handed. So I told her, I was like, listen, if you want to be a switch pitcher, I know you can do it. I've seen you do internal rotation both ways, but you got to work at it. You can't just, if you give up on it too long, you're never going to get it back.
Yeah.
Well, she's quite the switch hitter. That's for sure.
Yeah. She's pretty ambidextrous when it comes to a bat. So yeah. So I told her, I was like, listen, I can't make you want it. If you want it, that's great. If you want to be a standout, because right now you don't have like face melting velocity, then you need to learn how to throw left-handed or get your spin pitches down to a science right-handed.
And hit spots, right? Like that's the thing. You got to be able to hit spots.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I saw a rad exercise today, and it was this pitcher, and like there was a catcher set up, right? The catcher set up, and there's like right in front of her is like say a 2x6, standing straight up, boom, and then right here was a cutout of a freaking batter, and over here is a cutout of a batter, and you know what I mean? And she's just nailing it.
Well, that's the thing they say, right? You never want to put it over the center of the plate, right? No. And if you can choose those spots and hit low and inside.
I think it's all about choosing spots, and then also being up against a batter. Yep. Pitching against a batter can be intimidating. I'm sure of it. It's one thing to practice and when you're just catching for your, when you're pitching to your dad or whatever. But when there's actually another little girl up there, I'm sure it can be a little bit intimidating, a little bit scary. Sometimes you don't want to hit them. Some girls don't care. Some girls, and that's rad. I was, Ziva, she'll just stab it. She'll just get in there. She don't care. But some chicks, some girls, you know what I mean? They get emotional when they hit someone. They don't, and I get that too. So there's that. You got to get past that for sure.
Yep.
I think the motivation for mine was she is a gigantic Ducks fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's a huge Ducks fan. We went down to the Ducks camp last year.
Yeah.
And she stood out there, ended up getting the MVP of the camp on day 2 and like and stood out.
Yeah,
And
I remember all that.
the Ducks girls took that organization is fantastic, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
they took her under her wing, and she did the camp, and then at the end of it, they're like, well, you've been here a bunch. You've been through the locker room, right? And she's like, no. And they're like, well, let's go. And they walked her through the locker room, the team facility, and
Nice.
we're standing out at the Jane in the infield, and she looked at me and she's like, Dad, I want to be a D1 softball player. And she's 9, right? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You can,
Yeah.
but you have to work, right? And Coach Martyr looked at her and said, these girls work every day. They play softball every day. They do something softball every day. Maybe the weight room,
Yeah.
hitting, throwing, playing catch every single day.
Yep.
They're doing something softball. And I think that really stuck with her because she's got a goal, right, at 9 years old. And I hope it doesn't fizzle out at some point,
Right.
you know, like
That's all
working that hard at this age too. Does it get to a point where they're,
Well, I think about that
I'm
too.
done with this. I don't want to do it anymore. And
It
you just
can.
hope that doesn't happen, right? But I think that really lit a fire under her ass to get out there and play and exceed. And
You know what happens is they get injured and get a little taste of some summertime freedom.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get injured, especially if you're a pitcher, injure your hand. You can't pitch. You get summertime off.
Yeah.
Good luck. Summertime with the girls, bro. 14 years old, hanging out at the lake in the mall all summer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Bucket Dad. I'll be on the show tonight. Book me in for Wednesday, Pops. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened to my friend, man. And I want to have George, my buddy, shout out to my buddy George I work with. I want to have him on the show. He's a straight up bucket dad. His son played baseball, got a scholarship to Clackamas Community College with a baseball program. Did the whole 9 yards, dude. Got a pitcher, left-handed pitcher. George talks about the lessons and the fees.
Yeah.
Bro, baseball pitching.
Yeah.
Lessons.
Yeah.
I think I know those costs that you're paying when you're talking about catching. And I know the costs that you're talking about too, because we've talked about it before. Our lessons, we get pretty decent deals, I feel like, on our lessons.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we do.
$120 an hour, dude, for pitching lessons is not a big deal in baseball. Like that. Like that's what the average is, man. And it's like, holy cow. So
Yeah.
imagine, you know,
Yeah, it's a second full-time
broke
job.
his finger. And it's like, hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, George has got custom A2000 up on Marketplace so you should check it out. You should check it out. It's a sweet glove. I think it's a right-handed glove. I mean, it's a left-handed glove, but that's it. And, you know, he's heartbroken. George's freaking heart. It's a story, but it's a sad story.
It's a lot. It's a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy, and then a finger, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's other shit I can do besides baseball.
Yeah, besides work my ass off all the time, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. They gotta want it and they gotta work, and that's the trade-off,
Well,
right?
that's why not all of them make it, you guys. That's why there's the special ones. That's why not every bodybuilder is Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler, because it takes the certain special someone to reach that. And that's why they're not all Barry Bondses and they're not all freaking, you know, they're not.
Yeah.
It takes that certain special ones. If it was like that, bro, we'd all be on our game.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, that's why
true.
it just takes those. It's you gotta want it. You're built with it. Something happens. We're just trying to be there and navigate the right way, man.
Writing the checks and giving the rides, baby.
I
That's
think
all
we do
I
a pretty solid job, boys. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day, I'm having a pretty good time. You know what I mean? If my daughter was to up and decide to do something else, it would break my heart, but I'd be like, I'm having a pretty good time while we're doing it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's gotten this.
Yeah, I
know
never
what I
thought
mean?
I'd be sitting in a podcast for softball.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, that never was
Yeah.
in my 2026 playbook.
Bro,
you know?
what about the freaking Portland Cascade?
Yeah.
I just checked my ticket. I checked. I was like, I checked my email. Dude, there they are. Boom. Season tickets.
Yeah, I got mine too.
Yeah, heck yeah. Nice.
I saw somebody the other day. One of the guys on the team was wearing a Cascade hoodie, and I was
I got to
like,
get some gear.
did you print that yourself or did you buy it? He's like, nope, we bought it. I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure when I checked their store, they did not have that hoodie. So, you know,
I check all the time because I want a hat. I'm a hat guy, right?
yeah.
Like I love hats, and AUSL, if you're listening to this, you got to come up with a fitted hat for the Cascade because I would buy it.
AUSL, if you're listening to this, you guys got to find a better logo designer because some of your logos suck.
AUSL, if you're listening to this, he does a pretty good job.
I do. I got to tell you, man, I could have came up with like 100 better logos than what you guys came up with the Cascade, man. I was honestly kind of disappointed. I'm still going to buy your stuff. I'm still going to wear it, but dude, come on.
We have to as a season ticket holder, right?
Exactly. I'm a season ticket holder. I'm not going to not wear it. You know what I mean? But my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the meet and greet that you get with the season tickets, right? To get to go see like Sam Landry, who is a absolute stud.
Yeah.
And Paige Sinicki, right? Like my daughter she's been a Ducks fan since forever, and she loves Paige because she plays shortstop too, right? And that's one of those things. She's like, "Oh my God, Paige is on the Cascade," and that was kind of one of the reasons why I had to buy season tickets. She's like, "Dad, you're buying season tickets, right?" And I'm like, I guess. I guess we'll do that.
I'm like, but baby, everybody else is buying.
That's what I got too.
But everybody else got to.
Come on, Dad.
I can't have a podcast about softball and not have season tickets. Let's go, bro.
Yeah,
I need season tickets to the Hops games now too, dang it. That's the one right there. Yeah, man.
It's going to be a lot of fun, though.
It is going to be a lot of fun. And you know, it's kind of another one thing. I'm hoping it all kind of evolves into something bigger, and it will, right? But like, you could have done better too. You could have stretched it out over the summer instead of putting it all into one freaking month.
Yeah.
You know, from the middle of June to the middle of July and just have all the home games. I get it. It's cool. But it would be better if they were kind of spread out, right?
I think it will once if it takes off like it has been, like their viewership is going through the roof, right?
Yeah,
That's why they added new teams.
Yeah.
And if it keeps going on that trajectory, they'll add more teams, teams. And then the season gets longer because they got to play more games because there's more teams. So I think that they're getting their feet wet in it right now. It's been going for a while, but I think they're finally realizing that there is a lot of young ladies out there that play softball and want to see that high level.
Oh, it opens it up for sure, man. It opens it up for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to have it right here in our backyard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy when they, I think they have a game like the weekend or one of the weekends, if not both weekends of the Valley Invite. Those tickets are going to be freaking expensive because they're going to be sold out. Yeah. I'm thinking about actually selling my tickets. I'm thinking about getting like third or a quarter of my season tickets back on that one game.
Sure.
Probably could because I got first row right behind the dugout, man.
You were with the Bowens, right?
Yep. Right next to the Bowens.
Yep.
And that's why we got ours because Brindley and Kinley are like this.
Yeah.
And they were messaging. She's like, my dad bought season tickets. And I hear thump, 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 up to my room. She's like, Dad, there's 3 right next to him. And I'm like,
you better jump on it.
And I did right at that moment. I was like, God dang it.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
I'm sure we'll try to sell some of ours. We're not going to make all of them. And hopefully we can get our money back on it. If I could break even, that's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we're right behind home plate. So like we are on, from our perspective, we're on the right hand side of home plate. So we're right in ESPN camera shot. So I'm going to be repping Bucket Dads pretty hard. Might even be throwing up some like innuendo signs that aren't like overly commercial, but kind of, you know, from the bucket to the play, or from the bucket to the
to the dish,
or something, something like that. You know, because we're right in the camera view, so it should be awesome. We're in the second row, I think. So
we're in the section next to you. We're in the same section as the Conklins.
Yeah, same section as them.
Okay, boom.
You guys are either right on or right next to them. Yep. I'm not really sure what that field's going to look like though, because if obviously the dugouts aren't going to change, but like they're going to have to shorten the bases. They're going to have to like bring in like
the fence.
I would think they're going to change the turf out because the turf's all freaking the wrong dimensions. I'm sure they probably have either already done it or they're starting to do it. Yeah, the fence, they're going to have to put up a mobile fence. You know, so make some changes, but it's going to be fun.
I think it'll be ever changing, right? Like I think they'll change it for quite a few years until they get it the way that they want it.
Yeah, well, we'll see because, you know, that's like as long as they end up staying, because they're not technically, this is like a trial. Hillsboro's a trial. Portland's a trial. So if they do well, they'll stay here. But if they don't do well, it's going to be one and done.
Well, I know that they sold a ton of tickets.
Yeah, they did.
They sold a ton of season tickets because I was going in and looking at the what was available.
So did I. They were
I
going.
was like, holy crap.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're
see what
probably
they
sold
got.
out by now.
Let's see what they got.
They've got to be, because last time I checked, there was only like 10% left.
Yeah,
And that was like weeks ago.
Yeah, they sold a lot quick.
Yeah. Yeah, FOMO kicked in. Everybody's like, oh, well, what about practice? What about games? I'm like, figure it out, dude.
Yeah.
Figure it out. You will figure it out. The tickets they're going to be sold out. Those tickets are going to be worth more than Hops tickets.
Bro. They're sold out.
Yeah, they're going to be worth more than Hops tickets.
Well, and the thing is
Portland
about it
Cascade
too, like
season tickets are sold out.
as a softball coach too, right? Like if you're going to miss practice or something like that to go and watch the highest level softball there is, I don't hate that.
They're all sold out.
Okay, now I have to ask, can you go to like the second hand, see if what the scalp tickets are going for right now? Because I'm kind of curious if it's like $50 a game, $60 a game.
Yeah, because what were they, like 17
Well,
when you bought them for
Where do
season tickets?
you'd probably have better.
Depends on the
options
location. I think for
looking at
ours
it.
it was like 25 to 30. I think maybe it's $20.
I don't even know where to look that shit up.
StubHub, baby.
I just buy the tickets online.
Wife put it on the
I
credit
don't care.
card.
I got
That's
freaking,
what I
season
do.
tickets. Run a care. How much I got?
Yeah. So other than ASL, one of the things you guys might not know is that Mr. Josh does glove relacing and conditioning and break-ins and stuff like that. And he's got quite an extensive amount online, I think either on his Instagram or on Facebook. I'll pop it up right now while I'm talking to you guys. But if you're in the Pacific Northwest and you need your glove worked on, talk to this man right here.
Heck yeah.
You know?
How many gloves do you think you've done?
I don't know. I started probably, how long ago? 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago.
All right.
And I've probably done 40 to 50.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I've done a lot.
I wasn't kidding, people. This guy knows what he's doing. He's just done a lot of it.
Yeah. I've got it to that one.
This is your camera. Just show it to your camera. There you go.
So this one, a guy brought it to me yesterday.
Yep.
I cut the laces out, cleaned it, conditioned it, and relaced it in about an hour and a half.
Wow.
Oh gosh, that's awesome.
So I'm getting to the point now where like I could do it quick. I can turn them around quick.
Hell yeah.
And
That's sick,
gloves are expensive.
Yeah.
Man, you
Yeah,
get a
they
good
are.
glove and like Abby's A2000 there, right? Like that's a $350 glove.
It was every bit of it.
And
I got to shout out to one of my best. Actually, shout out to my best friend, bro. He bought that for Abby for Christmas.
that's a beautiful glove.
He told her to jump online and pick out a glove, and he wasn't kidding.
But the thing is if you get a good glove, like you get an A2000 or a Heart of the Hide or a Liberty or a 44 Pro or something like that, right? That glove will last forever if you keep it up.
And the cool thing is, like, I can put my big old paw on this thing too. It's a little small, but I can definitely work.
If you keep that glove conditioned and clean, that'll last forever, right? The laces will go out, but that's an easy fix.
So, run me not through your trade secrets.
No,
but
there's no trade secrets, man.
Breaking in. What's your preferred method to breaking in a mitt like this?
So
What would you do?
for this one,
Yeah, any mitt. Like when you get a mitt, what do you do? What's your go-to?
it all
And do you
depends
think
too,
those
right?
laces are loose in the web in the fingers right there, or do you? No?
Finger laces are supposed to be loose.
Yeah,
man.
that's what I kind of
Usually when I break a glove in, I pull on the finger
I do the
laces.
same thing.
And it depends. Like a lot of people like a flared finger.
Yeah. My
My daughter likes a straight finger like this, right?
Yeah.
If I try to flare her fingers out, she gets pissed. She's like, no.
Now.
Interesting.
But I'm a proponent of soaking them in water.
Okay.
Like I will get a good hot pot of water. Like I have a Insta Hot, right? And I don't soak it necessarily, but I'll dunk it until it stops bubbling and I pull it out.
Yep.
And at that point, that's when you
Start working.
get your hinges, right? You
Yep.
got your hinges.
Yep.
You can either do a 1 hinge or a 2 and pound on your hinges, right?
Yep.
And get it worked in. And then the best thing to do is I don't necessarily like breaking in gloves for people because it's a personal thing,
just to
right?
play with it. Just
Not
use
only
it.
that, it's a pain in the freaking ass if you get a stiff one.
And
It takes a
honestly,
while.
the cost that you get for breaking in a glove
Yeah.
for
Oh,
the
yeah.
time that you spend
I know.
is
I know.
hardly worth it,
I
right?
know.
Like
I know.
And when I was a
100%.
kid, when you got a glove, like you didn't want anybody to touch it.
Right.
You wanted to break in your own glove.
Right.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm one of those guys that like I'll have like Kinley. I just bought her that Liberty Advanced.
Yeah.
And we soaked it and I pounded the hinges into it and I gave it to her while it was wet. And I said, here, put this on and we have a mallet with a 12-inch ball. And I said, hammer on it with your hand, because then you form it to your hand and your fingers, and then it's made for your hand, right? And somebody else breaks in your glove, and it doesn't fit right. You know what I mean? Like if I break in a glove, Abby's glove, it's going to be formed to my hand, not Abby's hand, and that's to me, it's kind of counterproductive.
I agree. I think the best way to break men is to play with them and then keep obviously put ball in there.
Well, and the good thing about the water method is it's
flared open a little bit.
It softens the leather, and then you can pound that pocket in it, right? So
what's crazy is you got the guys that are pro water, and then you got the guys not water. It's like there's really not many in between us.
I think most people are pro water, unless of course they're trying to make sure they don't void the warranty, because then almost all those gloves say if they detect any water at all, your warranty is voided. So it's like, for me with Ziva, like we just got her an A2000. It's not going to be here for like a half a year probably.
A custom.
It took about 8 weeks for us to get ours.
Ziva's is supposed to be like 10 or 11, but but anyways, I haven't checked A2000s like what their policy is, but I know with I think 44 Pro or maybe Rico, you cannot use water. If they detect water, it voids the warranty. So luckily, I got a pitching machine and a bunch of balls, so I can just go.
Well, that's where you build.
I mean, that's the best way to do it, man. That's literally the best way to do it.
That's where you build that pocket right there, right?
Yeah, that one's
like that's what you need is that. And once you get that built, then you just play catch with it, man, and break it in. Like this glove
got some history.
Oh, dude, this glove is it. This glove chokes me up a little bit, honestly, because like this glove is when my daughter started playing. She had a little tiny one, and I was like, you can't even fit a softball in that.
Right.
So let's go get. I paid like $35 for this glove, and I bet you this glove has played 300 games.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And it was a $35 Wilson A500, and if anybody's looking for a starter glove, this is the one.
That's the
right.
one.
An A500 for a little kid.
Yeah.
That's the one. Breaks in super easy. They're cheap. And you keep them clean. Like this thing, you can't hardly tell it's played 300 games, right? Like
you've laced it a few times, you said?
Yeah, I've relaced this one 3 times just because
you want to.
Well, and she's like, she'll see gloves and she's like, oh, I like the white. This was white for a while. She's like, I want white laces. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And then she was sitting in my little shop area, and I had all my laces on the wall, and she's like, I think it'd look cool red and white. And I'm like, I think you're right. So we did it. But this one is now retired because she got her new glove.
Yeah. That thing's holding up really well, though.
Yeah, it's a great glove. And this is the one that we started playing catch. And at first, you guys know, when you start playing catch with your kids, you're playing chase, right? Yeah. Like you're not playing catch, you're playing chase. Let's be real.
Yeah. I'm playing look. Because I just look at her. I'm like, really?
You're playing chase.
Go get it. I'm not running after it.
But with this glove, I realized that, I don't know, her learning curve was pretty quick. Yeah. I'd say about 6 months into it, we were playing catch and we were talking while we were playing catch, right? We were throwing back and forth to each other. And I realized we had been playing catch for about 15 minutes and we weren't thinking about catching the ball. She wasn't thinking about catching the ball or throwing the ball. She was just doing it. Mm-hmm. And it was at that moment I was like, she's kind of getting pretty good at this. Yeah. And that's when she's like, I want to play travel ball. And it was one of those moments that, and whenever I look at this glove, that's what makes me think about that, right? So this is one of those ones that, like, I just pulled it out of her bag today. Yeah. And I'm like, this is going away.
Maybe you hang on the wall or something like that.
Yeah. And actually, she does have her wall that's got all of her old stuff, but it's just one of those things, right? Like, as a sentimental bucket dad, right? You're like, God, this was the glove that really started all of it. And, and it's held up really well.
And for those of you that want one of those gloves, go to bucketdads.com/A2 or A500, and it will take you to either Amazon or it will take you to Wilson's page where you can purchase them yourself for the same price you normally would, except we get a little bit off your purchase. Just helps us keep the lights on. Just one, because it's only $35.
Yeah, it's super cheap. And like as a little kid, you don't need the A2000. They can't put their hand in it. They can't squeeze it. They're too big.
Plus, you don't know if they're going to keep on playing. Why are you going to spend like $3 to $4 or like, because it's going to be like $400 for a custom one. You know, those things are expensive, dude. And like you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the curve, the
pocket,
the shape on that glove, it's way better than anything else you're going to get for $35-$40, dude.
Well, and like I said, that glove has played, some serious games.
Hey, something else I want to touch on. One of the things that one of the things that Wilson does, which makes their gloves so strong and makes them hold up over time, is called welting. And you guys may not know what it is, but it's these little streaks right here on the glove itself. When you have double welting like that, that's what causes the A2000, the A1000s, and the A500s. That's why they hold up so well over time. They don't get so floppy. They have the extra strength on the back. So if you're going to get a glove, you want to hold it up or have it hold up over time. You definitely want to get double welting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. Another thing I like about the Wilsons is they have adjustable fingers, right? So you can tighten the fingers on this glove on the fly.
Yes.
Right? So this glove gets loose and the fingers get spread out. All you got to do is untie that knot right there, pull it, fingers tighten up, tie your knot back, and you're good to go.
That's badass.
And a lot of gloves don't do that. A lot of them will have a single lace that goes all the way through and then goes through the finger
around and all that.
Yeah, it starts here and then it goes through the spiral and then it goes through the fingers and you tie it off over here and they're not adjustable.
That's how Zivas Mizuno is. It was a pain in the ass to do that.
And I've actually had, in the last few months, I've had 3 or 4 people bring me their gloves and be like, "Can you tighten this?" And I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pain in the ass, but it can be done. But the good thing about these Wilsons is that you don't have to. Mm-hmm. You can just tighten them on the fly. Yeah, so that's awesome. That's a cool thing about this.
$35 banger.
Yeah,
banger.
Yeah, that company, man, they've cornered the market on. It's pretty much them, Nakona, and what's the other one?
All of it though.
44 Pro
and 44 Pro, right? Yeah.
See, Rawlings, my kiddo.
That's what Abby's last glove is.
Yeah, my kiddo had a Wilson, right, and then she got a Liberty Advanced Catcher's glove that was harder than a coffin nail when I got it. That thing was I pounded on that thing for like 3 months before she could even move it, right? Yeah. And it's now to the point where she can use it. She uses it all the time, but that's freaking thing, man, it was hard when it came out of the package.
We were talking about Abby's A1000. Her
I remember that one.
You had that one.
I did. I had it for a little bit.
We passed that thing around. Dude.
Yeah, everybody had it.
Well, everybody wanted to play with it. We were trying to fast pass it here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thickest freaking palm I've ever seen on a catcher's glove. That palm was so thick.
I wish I'd have brought Kay's Liberty
now.
Advanced.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty sweet now. I should have her bring it in here. It's pretty sweet now.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I think that's the best bang for your buck. Myself, I would not personally, nothing against anybody. Wilson, thank you. Shout out to the homeboy for buying this for my daughter. I personally wouldn't spend $350 on a glove for my kid. I'll spend it on catcher's gear that she's going to grow out of next year. But this right here, I don't know. That's a lot of money, man. And but then again, I'm different. My kid saves up her money, and I make her pay for at least half of it. And you guys know that to be true. In fact, she's bought most of her own stuff. I swear to God, she bought most of her bat. You know, her prism.
I remember that.
She bought her first round of catcher's gear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing too is that, the kids, right? They change their minds. They change on what looks cool. You know what I mean? And the other thing is that they don't always take care of the gloves. Now, I have been riding Ziva's ass about, hey, if you're going to freaking put this glove in your bag, you better have a freaking softball in it.
Yeah, always.
Yeah,
always. Sometimes 2, like the first baseman's gloves, 2, not just 1, 2, because it's freaking, you don't want anything to get tacoed and get smashed.
Yeah.
And like with this thing right here, this thing better be like on her helmet or freaking have a softball in it at all times when she gets it, because if she squashes that thing, I swear to God, I'm gonna wait till she comes around a corner and I'm gonna whap her in the freaking shoulder with it or something.
Well, another thing too is notice how you put it down.
Yeah.
That's another thing, right? When you go, like our team, when we set up, I'm pretty sure the Blaze is the same way, but
they all stage their stuff.
Yeah, when we lay our stuff out, you lay your glove like that, right? You lay your things out, you respect your gear, because you know what? Without that, your glove is your most important tool, right?
Yeah.
Take care of it, it'll take care of you.
Marines. This is my glove. There's not many like them, but this one is mine.
That's right, man.
What's your glove's name? Charlene.
I will too. Charlene. Do you understand me, first baseman?
Well, it was funny because Kinley went down to the Ducks camp, right? And she was playing with Rowe and Thompson. And Coach Rowe always threw her glove on the ground, and Kinley would walk behind her and flip her glove and lay it like that.
Yeah.
And Rowan would be like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah.
And then she'd throw it down and Kinley'd be like, flip her glove over. And I throw my glove down and she looks at me. She's like, "Dad, And she flips my glove over,
There
right?
we go.
So that's a thing, right? Like you got to
should see
respect your gear.
You should see mine. You'd fucking hate me. Mine's like a taco, but I'm telling you right now,
Hey, man,
it
mine
doesn't
used to
miss
be-
anything, bro.
I could fix that.
No,
You know-
I don't know. Mine's more or less. It doesn't. Mine's not even that much leather. It's more like.
I'll tell you right now, what isn't a taco is that when I got a new catcher's glove for Ziva to catch for, that thing is shaped perfectly. Some people, like a lot of guys, like I'll let them use it to like catch, to warm somebody up. And they're like, oh man, this thing isn't really that broken in. I'm like, it's not supposed to be that broken in. It's supposed to have a hard ass pocket so the ball snaps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I have a bad left hand. So if I can use it, you can use it. I don't want to hear any bitching about the glove's not broken in.
Well, they're not really supposed to be floppy, right?
No.
Like it should
supposed to
have
be double hinge, and the actual middle should be freaking pretty snappy, pretty strong. Otherwise, you're not going to have that crack sound.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, girls throw faster when the ball sounds better.
No, for sure.
It gets them going. Now, before we keep on going on, I meant to give this to you, but we've given these to everybody that's been on the podcast so far. You guys just haven't seen it because we've done it either before or afterwards because we had like print problems or whatever. But we are going to give you an official Bucket Dads
Oh, dude, that's rad.
t-shirt. Now, now, if this doesn't work or it's too small, let me know. I'll chop the sleeves off and use it as a workout shirt. But I think it's possible that the chest thing is a little off center to the left a little too much. But if it doesn't work, you let me know. I'll get you another one.
Dude, that's rad. I
But here you
appreciate
go,
it.
man.
Thank you. I'll wear it with pride. I'll wear it to my next practice.
Right on, right on.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right on. And here pretty soon we're going to have our merch available on our website. It's not quite up yet, but it's getting there. I've been working on it. We're going to be working with Bree to get these the t-shirts up and everything else. But in time I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes with trying to get stuff up on Spotify and everything else. And it's a lot more work than I thought. There's a certain process you have to go through. And if you don't go through it the right way, you end up submitting things wrong and you screw yourself. And then it's a pain in the ass because then you have to deal with customer service trying to get back in touch with you. And it takes days sometimes. So do it right the first time. Luckily, I have Gemini to help me walk me through this stuff. But man, it's a process. I don't even know how the hell people did this like back before AI. Like they have to hire a consultant or something like that to
We had
walk them
producers.
through it or just figure it out.
We had producers.
Yeah.
We just got thrown.
Don't need no stinking producers.
Yeah. So real quick, we touched on this last episode. What was it like being in St. Helens when that shit went down last year with the birth certificates?
Dude, it was a black eye on my program, right? Like that is my home program. That's where my daughter started. And
Oh yeah.
she actually played for that coach.
Oh,
right. And that
shit.
was
Damn.
going.
So I didn't think I was gonna hit a nerve like that. I thought I was like, oh yeah, some shit went down around town. You're like,
Well,
Didn't
and
realize
honestly, I was gonna coach that team. I was gonna be a coach on that team.
Yeah.
And I decided not to. We went to the Lady Bombers and all that stuff came out. And honestly, what the guy did was way out of pocket, right?
Oh yeah.
Super out of pocket.
Oh yeah.
But some of the sanctions that they got on him after that might have been a little out of pocket too, right? Like
What
some of
happened?
like they can't play in St. Helens rec ball for now. They're that
Their kids can't play?
well, that coach and everything like that, they're done. And the way that it got rained down on them, right? Like I have friends that have kids on that team and stuff, and the backlash and the fallout for that was, it sucked, man. These are 10-year-old kids. They didn't do anything wrong,
Yeah.
right? They just
Yeah.
want to go out and play softball. That's all they want to do is go play softball. And they had an assistant coach make an ass out of himself.
Yeah.
And the trickle-down effect hit those kids. And there's kids now that are like, I don't know if I want to play softball.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is a tragedy.
Especially in a small town out there.
That's
where
a
you
tragedy.
Don't have
Yep.
So
much
it
option.
to me, I think that what the guy did was wicked out of pocket.
Sure.
Right? Like there, you should never, ever, even if the girl wasn't old, it was too old, you shouldn't make a stink like that, you know?
Yeah, I'm not even sure if it was so much as what he did or what the other coach, his wife, whoever it was, did afterwards. I think she didn't let it go and she pursued it, if I remember reading correctly. And I think that's what I think really pissed people off.
Yeah, it was just,
Yeah.
it wasn't good.
And like I said in the last one, like we all think that. You might think, oh my God, look at that Amazon girl over there. She's obviously not of age. Dude, she's of age.
Yeah.
They can't get on the team if she's not of age.
Yeah.
No one's going to Photoshop and fake a freaking birth certificate.
For 10U softball.
They're going to figure it out. They're
Right,
not
for
going to do
10U
it.
softball.
Hey,
it's 10U
hey, man.
softball,
Hey,
boys.
listen.
Come on.
back in the 80s and 90s, that may have happened. But nowadays, that's not happening. Everybody knows everybody, you know, like everybody's connected. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you get caught forging like a freaking birth certificate, you're done, and it follows you for the rest of your life. So you might think that, don't ever say it.
Yeah.
And if you say it, wait till afterwards you're at the bar with your buddies joking around or something.
There's
like
a time
that,
and a
you know?
place.
There's a time and a
In
place.
the middle of a game is never the time and place,
hell
right?
No.
And see, my daughter is little.
Yeah.
I mean, she's built like me. She's small
Mm-hmm.
and bigger. And we played against a team last year, and they have a girl that was playing first base, and that girl is your size.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's
drove herself there.
she's a big kid, right? She's a 10-year-old big kid. That kid is legit hitting the ball over the fence, right? Like legit.
Yeah.
And I have a picture of her standing at first base because she got on base, and she's standing next to this first baseman. And her head is just above this girl's hip, right? Like, but they're within a year of age of each other. It's just the way it is.
I think I may know who the first baseman you're talking about.
Yeah, you probably do.
Yeah. The only girl I've seen constantly, it's like, oh, who hit that home run? Oh, yeah, it's her again.
Yeah, dude, she
Yeah.
crushes the ball.
Yeah.
And she's the sweetest kid you'll ever see,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
super sweet, but she's just a big kid, right?
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. And you can't fault a kid for being a big kid, right?
No.
Like, you can't make them play up. You can't do any of that
No.
stuff, right? Because
Let
they're
them play.
let them play softball.
Like you said, I think you hit it on the head when you said, dude, no one's doing that. For 10U, come on, give me a break. 10-year-old girl.
They're not checking your 10U stats when you're trying to get into a D1 school, right? They're not going back to your game changer stats on your 10U year and being like, oh, well, you struck out 17 times, so you're out.
No, but if they find out you're a pitcher and freaking 65 at 10U, they might be like, hey.
Actually,
Well, if they find out that they find that you threw a big stink about somebody.
that's true too. Actually, that girl.
Obviously, it's holding them back. Right?
Negative shit's going to follow you the rest of your life.
It does.
The softball community is small.
Yeah, and so unfortunately, it sounds like he's dealing with their whole family is now dealing with the consequences. Of
Yeah,
that, right?
there's a whole
Shunned.
community. There's a whole community dealing with it, right? There's a whole team of 10-year-old girls that don't necessarily want to walk out on the field sometimes because they don't know how they're going to be received. Right. And you shouldn't have to worry about that at 10 years old, right? Like, the guy was out of pocket. The guy made an ass out of himself. Get him out of there.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let that team go out and compete and play softball. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Is these girls getting out of the
That's what
house.
it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the girls becoming better softball players.
Getting out of the house
Loving the
and building that team accountability, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just you're a good softball player, but you're accountable to the other 11 girls on your team.
Yeah.
You show up, you do the hard work, you make mistakes, you make good plays, right? But you're accountable to that team.
And when you don't want to show up, you still show up.
And that's what it's about to me, right? It's not just about softball. It's about it's life lessons, right? You're doing the things that necessarily you don't want to sometimes, but you know what? I'm accountable and I signed up for this, and they're counting on me to be there. And it's raining. It's bomb cyclone, right? Like, we don't necessarily want to be out here. We don't necessarily want to be out here, but we
the
are.
bomb cyclone.
Oh, dude.
Was that the name of that? What they called it? The bomb
I
cyclone?
don't know.
But you know,
Atmospheric river.
It was the atmospheric river.
Dude, that was, we were at the same tournament.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah, you guys had it so the wind was at your back, I believe, right?
Yeah, we
so
were
you
on
guys
the-
were hitting.
we were on the
You guys hit
freeway
dingers.
side.
You guys hit infield fly, and it would be a freaking home run. We were on the other side where if you hit a freaking home run, it turns into an infield fly.
Or it flies over the backstop because
it came back and hit you in the face.
Dude, they hit one out to right field, and it landed on the other side of the fence in foul territory on first base.
yeah.
Remember that, dude?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I remember our pitchers having such a hard. I remember poor Tavia. I was like, "Come on, bro." She's pitching against in the wind. The wind is like traveling the same. You know what I mean? And like it was just taking the ball wherever it wanted to go. That was
dude.
ridiculous.
I felt bad
And
for
we've already brought that up. It was
I
ridiculous.
felt bad for the pitchers for that, but I'm a catcher dad.
Yeah.
And
I felt
my
bad for
poor
him.
catcher was sitting back there, and the pitcher can't hardly do anything. So your catcher's working her ass off because the ball's all over the place.
Where we were at too, like we were talking about, like we didn't have a backstop.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah,
like
they're-
a makeshift freaking
The net.
softball
They're on
field.
the opposite side of us.
Yeah.
In the other corner.
Yeah.
So
It
they're
was
doing
brutal.
the same shit.
It was
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah, it was an angled backstop. So
Angled
like
backstop, and
if the catcher missed the ball,
It was ricocheting.
you might get a runner to score from second base.
We had
maybe
net.
even first base.
We had net,
right?
right? Like loose net. So if it would get tangled up in the net, right? So it was like
The catcher just throws her hands up. Oh,
Yeah,
one miss is all you get.
Remember
was
when
brutal.
they called for the lightning and the thunder, and all the all the girls ran inside the little barn, and they all found the little stray. Remember all the little cats?
Oh yeah.
The barn cats. They all fell in love with these cats, and then it was like, "All right, girls, we're going back on the field," and they're like, "What?"
Oh no, it's nice and warm. We're wearing
It's-
blankets. It's toasty. I don't want to do that.
Look at the wind out. There's
That was a shitty day.
people's tents and canopies were freaking folding over.
But honestly, right now, I know a group of girls that would gladly play outside a game in an atmospheric river right now to
Just
get
to play?
out, get out of the gym and get out of the cage and get out of all of that stuff just to get out on
Just
a
to
ball
play.
field and play, right? Like the
Yeah.
wintertime is rough
It
for
is
the
rough.
especially the ones that want to play and the ones that are dedicated, right? Like they want to play.
Yeah, you gotta be hitting them clinics, man. You gotta be hitting them indoor clinics all freaking winter.
Yep.
They're getting some indoor stuff. We get outside. We're still playing outside when we can, but it sucks, dude. It's cold.
It's a bummer, man. Then
Can't wait
they
till
want to
spring.
play.
I can't wait till it gets warmer, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
shit.
the older I'm getting or what, but man, I'm like, and working out back. Maybe it's working back and down on Swan Island now. Bro, it takes me every bit of all day to warm up. I'm freezing cold. Like, I can't warm up, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I
Oh,
finally
you know
get
what you
warm up,
mean.
and then I'm like, oh, crap, we're going to go to hang out at the We're going to the barn right now. It's freaking 12 degrees in there, and
Dude,
I only wore a hoodie.
I am always wearing thermals now, dude. I either wearing thermals or like leggings underneath. I don't know, man. Like because because of my injury and stuff like that, I can only really feel the heat and the cold on one side of my body. The other side that feels exactly the same, right? But man, lately I just been getting cold to the bone. I actually just bought an electric blanket about a week ago.
Yeah, we
like,
have a couple of those.
My wife's like, almost premenopausal, so she's starting to get the hot flashes, and she wants nothing to do with my electric blanket, and I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with giving you my
ice cold
electric blanket. Touch your cold ass at night. That's my reprieve. Otherwise, I'm toasty warm, man.
Take
you
your
know?
cold, wet toes away from me, please.
I'm an Alaska guy, right? Like you guys caught me in jeans just because I was like, I should probably wear pants instead of shorts to this thing.
You do wear shorts.
Dude, I'm a shorts guy, right?
Yeah,
Like
you
I
were
grew
that kid I bet in middle school that wore shorts all year round.
Yeah. I grew up in
I used to
Alaska and
too.
it doesn't get cold here.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm that guy that I'm like, it's not
What's
that cold.
What's softball like up in Alaska? Did you play softball? Up
I
there?
played baseball
Uh-huh.
my whole life and we would wait. We had 6 feet of snow, right? And you're sitting there being like, son of a, and then the snow would melt and then it's muddy for a month,
yeah.
right? But you're still out there. You're like, there's grass, man.
the
We're
winters
we're
were-
freaking throwing the ball.
Yeah.
You know, and it was
Yeah.
Did you play in high school?
I actually went to high school down here, and I did not play in high school. Actually,
Yeah.
I wrestled
I
in
didn't
high
either.
school,
I didn't.
and that kind of took over my
Gotcha.
everything.
Yep.
I was devoted to wrestling, like my daughter's devoted to softball.
That's how the McMillans are.
Yep.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
are wrestlers. In fact,
Yep.
everyone's wrestling right now except for Declan. Keegan, Carson, and Caden are all three wrestling right now.
Well, Michael went to U of O and wrestled for U of O, so
Yeah.
I totally expect that. I mean, he's
He's a stud.
he's
He is a
yeah. He's a
good-
wrestler, coach, therapist.
He's
a good dude. I
Wrestler,
like-
coach,
I like-
therapist.
Yeah, I like Michael
and a
too.
bucket dad, and he does the softball. Bro,
Oh,
I
yeah.
hand it to that family. They juggle those kids like everywhere. They pull it off, man. They
Dude,
do
it's
it.
nuts.
They
It's
pull it
nuts
off.
how
They
they do
pull
it.
it off, bro. They pull it off.
One's hard enough for me, man. Like,
They pull it off,
one's
and you
tough.
know it takes a village sometimes. You know, everybody wants to play, and the kids are awesome. Though that whole
Yep.
family is beautiful.
Yep.
I love that whole family, man.
Me too.
So I want to talk to you about the competition you guys have this year. What are the teams you guys are looking out for? What who's on your radar? Like, what are you guys a C level? Are you guys CB? Are you guys B level? Like, what's going on with the Bombers this year for the second year tenure?
I would say that we're CB,
Okay.
right? Like we've come a long ways.
Yeah.
We're definitely a lot better than we were this winter. We put in a lot of work, right? And there's the laundry list of teams, right? You've got the Pioneer Premier out of Oregon City. Those guys are
Yeah.
they're legit,
Yeah.
right? They're legit. We played them in fall ball and they beat the brakes off of us, and we beat teams that we lost to in summer ball
Yeah.
and beat them pretty handily. But the Pioneer Premier team, man, they're good. They've got
Yeah.
gas pitchers. They've got that pitcher catcher duo, right? Like they've got a girl that throws
That's
mid
the
40s.
core.
They've got a
Yeah.
girl that throws mid 40s and a catcher that can catch it.
Yeah.
And you're not getting on base on a drop third strike. And unless your kids are good hitters, you're not really hitting the ball. So, I mean, they're a good team. That West Lynn Lions team, they're a good team.
I remember them. Yep.
There's like, you've got the...
You don't have the Sparks anymore to play.
No, they're the Vanquish now.
Right.
They're up in 12U. Yep. There's the As one.
And the Bombers only have just the one
they
team.
Were good, they were good last year.
Yep, they're good.
You still have the Bulldogs. You guys still play the member of the Bulldogs. I remember so many funny stories.
Yeah,
ready, set.
Yeah. Well, that was a weird one too because we were a solid C team last year, right? Like fundamentally we had some work to do.
Together.
Right?
We came together near the end of the season for sure.
We're not a bad team.
Yeah,
but
it was a rough start.
That Bulldogs team, they had pitchers and stuff not wearing masks.
Oh yeah.
And I actually went and talked.
Wear your mask.
Well, I talked to I talked to the coach, right? And I'm like, if you guys need a mask for this girl, we got one because I guarantee you, if that girl serves up a meatball,
face,
any of our girls, if they get a hold of it, it's gonna be trouble, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not only the pitcher getting hurt, but I know if my daughter has hit me a bunch of times, I don't even pitch to Kinley anymore without a net, right?
Net, dude,
what coach in their right mind at anything sub 16 lets the pitcher not wear a mask?
Yeah.
Watch D1.
I've seen it. I can't believe it.
They got masks on most of them.
Most of them.
They should.
And the corners should too.
If
after
you
what
like
happened
your
to freaking,
teeth, you should.
Was it Riley Cooper?
Riley McCoy.
Yeah, dude. Like,
you should wear it.
Yeah. And like I was saying, it's not just the pitcher.
Do you catch without legs? You know what I mean? For your daughter?
Not anymore. I thought I could get away with that until I caught one to the freaking foot one day.
Yep.
It wasn't even the shin. It was the foot. It hit like the top of my freaking foot. Oh my God, dude. The one that I could feel. Oh my God, dude.
It has to be the one you can feel.
Yeah, it hurts so goddamn bad, dude.
Yeah.
And like this is like back when she was pitching 39.
Yeah.
Now she's pitching like 47 and a half, 48 with a 12 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell no, am I catching her without any freaking shin guards on? Right. Get out of your freaking mind, dude. Yeah. Well, I don't even want to catch her without a face mask on. I honestly don't even want to catch her without a freaking chest guard on because she throws so many drop balls now. They're going to freaking bounce. And I'm going to like my old school catchers, reactions are going to come in. I'm coming to block. Next thing you know, I'm going to boom and take it right to the sternum. And then my freaking chest is going to be hurting for a while. I'm thinking like I'm having a heart attack at night while I'm laying in bed or something like that.
I'm seeing the whole thing now.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, do you remember the last time I caught was when we were at Jackson when the girls we pulled up and those three boys were on the field?
Oh man, did we even tell that story on?
I don't think we've ever told the story yet.
What were we waiting for? Were we waiting for Alyssa?
A sign from the universe, I think.
Well, let's just fucking tell the story. Let's just tell the story. And guess what?
Just before we get into the story, I just want you to know that was the last time that I caught for any kid without freaking legs.
All right. Well, guess what?
Let's hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we also have a video to go with this.
Oh, that's right. You do have some video.
Yes, I got a couple
You're gonna
of
have
them.
to dig it up.
I will dig it up. So
now I gotta say, Rob's like, this is such a pain in the ass doing all this, but hold on, I got a video I'm gonna throw in there.
that's all right. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Kind of. So, all right. So,
let's get into the story.
Like, we got a school that's not too far away from our house in Hillsboro, Jackson School. And
you remember Adeline?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So we got they have a turf infield over there at Jackson School, right? So doesn't matter what's going on, the turf's always there. You're good to go, right? So one of the things we do is like if you're going to do like a pickup practice, it's super easy to just go on down there, So we like roll on down there, and we met up with this girl that I've been helping out with some hitting lessons, and her mom, and Chad and Abby. And we're gonna have Allison on soon. So we roll on down there. Yeah, we'll probably talk about this again with her too. But it was freaking hilarious. So we roll on down there, and we get there, and there's like 3 boys or whatever, maybe 4 boys, and they're all playing baseball. And I'm like, shit. And I was like, well, you know what? Because he was like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna drive all the way out here. She's coming. We're gonna unload. We're gonna go up there. We're gonna ask them if they want to freaking let us play, and if they don't, we might have to push them off the field.
They were probably like, there was a youngster who was probably like 8.
Yeah.
And then there was probably like a 10-year-old, maybe a 12, maybe a 12-year-old.
There's like one 11 or 12-year-old, and then everybody else is like 9, 10, right? Yeah. And not that we would actually push them off the field. We would never do that. But what we would do is we would go out in the outfield and just keep on practicing until they decided to either give up or take a break, and then we'd work on in, just like anybody else. You know?
For sure.
Don't be a dick and push them off the field, you know. But
they were cool though. Those kids were cool. Maybe
challenge them for the field, you know, like kind of like, you know, putting down 50 cents to try to like be the next up on the pool table or something like that. Well, anyways, so I roll on up.
And they're super receptive.
Yeah.
They see us coming. They see us coming. They see the wagons.
Got the wagon with
and
the
the
pitching
girls.
machine and the girls and all that stuff.
They see the girls, bro.
They're like, oh.
So Ziva did not tell me going over there that she knew all these kids. She didn't tell me that she knew who they were. And they didn't act like they knew who she was. Because what happened was the boys didn't realize that Ziva was a travel ball player. They didn't realize she's a softball player. So now she goes around, I'm a softball player at school, right? Mm-hmm. Well, when they found out that we were playing some softball, they're thinking, oh, freaking pansy-ass, girly-ass softball, not freaking 44, 43 mile an hour, because this is when she's now getting up to around 44 miles an hour during the summertime, right? Because this is like she was pitching 39 in the fall last year, and then over time with the 11 inch she got up to like 43, 44. They weren't thinking, oh man, this girl's gonna be like freaking throwing some heat. So I go on over there, I was like, hey, is it all right if we're working with you guys, you know, like just practice with you guys, you know, maybe you guys even do some batting practice. I was like, I mean, if you guys don't mind, you guys want to hit off my daughter, I mean, she might give you a run for your money. And they go, yeah, we'll hit some freaking dingers.
What's some dingers?
I was like, yeah.
Let's go, girls.
This is gonna be great.
We had, let's go. Was Nova with us too, or no? It was just the three of them. I think Nova was with us, wasn't it?
No, Nova was not with us. Okay. It was Abby. Adeline. It was just the three of us, right? So we got on over there, and I don't remember who went first, but needless to say, they did not hit any dingers.
I don't think they hit one dinger.
I don't even know if they even barely hit the freaking ball. They struggled. And then meanwhile, like one's a pitcher, and I was like,
so that was the deal. They could pitch to us overhand, and we were going to pitch to them underhand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. And
same distance.
Our girls didn't necessarily knock the crap out of their balls either.
No,
but they sure as hell didn't freaking they made contact, but they sure as hell didn't knock the crap out of our balls either.
Yeah.
And of course, they figured out real fast that hitting a softball is not as easy as they thought when it's freaking coming in freaking fast pitch style.
Yeah.
And
it's a completely different ball game.
Yeah. Like I just remember the look on that kid's face.
The older kid, when
he was pitching.
out.
I was like, hey, how fast do you pitch? And he's like, oh man, he's pitching like 50, 55. And I was like, well, I have a radar gun. Let's go find out. And it was like 44, 42. And I was like, man, it's a pretty big
warm,
difference between that. Yeah, you warm yet?
I remember the little guy was one of the pitchers, and so I was like, oh, I'll catch him. He had to wind up, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore, bro.
Yeah.
I need legs.
But seriously, it was freaking hilarious, man. Those girls got right up there, and they had baseball bats trying to hit baseballs, and then we let the boys use the softball bats trying to hit the softballs. Let's just say at the end they had a whole new respect.
They completely struck out.
Oh yeah, dude.
They completely struck out.
Yeah, they were barely able. Well, the 12-year-old was able to foul off a couple, I think.
That's right. But he didn't get no.
But yeah, it was not as easy as they thought. Certainly no dingers were hit, and the girls made some contact. Now, if we did it again since then, Ziva, because we went to DBAT all the time, and I was like getting sick and tired of every 3 or 4 rounds having to go pick up freaking softballs. So I was like, we're going to get you a baseball bat. So you can hit softballs and baseballs, and then we can pick them all up at the end, and you get a bunch of rounds in. And if you can hit a baseball, you can hit a softball.
Yeah, sure.
So I went and got a badass DeMarini, some kind of CF DeMarini that was like used maybe 2 weeks before like the kid like decided he wanted a different bat. It was like mint condition, right? Probably like a $300 bat I got for like $60 or $50, brand new. So we used to go over there and hit a ton of baseballs, and she was like, man, did she get on up there? And it was crazy because there's something to be said for the trajectory of a baseball coming down from above, and your eyes being able to track it versus one coming up at you. Dude, she could hit a baseball like it's nobody's freaking business, dude. Just cranking them, dude. And I'm like, damn, is it really that big of a difference? Yes, people, it is that big of a difference.
You think it's because they're coming in lower?
It's because they're coming. They're coming up. They're coming up.
Okay.
You either keep the plane or it's coming up at you. And
I believe it's harder to pick it up.
No, I'm saying
from where the release point is.
Hell yeah,
the baseball is coming down. It's a little easier to.
Oh hell yeah,
yeah. That's what
it's coming down and across.
Yeah.
Usually, It's crazy.
rising up on you. No rise balls.
You know?
We've got a group of boys in our neighborhood that play baseball too. There's 3 or 4 of them, and Kinley plays softball, right? And they're out hitting wiffle balls, and Kinley wants to. I'm like, go hit with them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she walks out there, and they're like, "Oh, you can't, whatever. Go get in here." And they're playing in the yard, and about 2 pitches into it, she gets a hold of one and out of the yard, across the street into the neighbor's yard, right? So she does that again and again. And then now I'm like, well, go hit with them. She's like, they won't let me. They're like, shit, they won't let her play anymore. Because the little girl is smoking their pitches.
Hey, didn't I see too that she got invited back to the Ducks thing? Not to go back to the Ducks thing, but didn't she get invited back this year too, right?
Yeah, she's going to be on the 28th against Stanford. She gets to be in the dugout, be the bat girl for the Ducks again. So, yeah, they reached out and asked if she wanted to come back down. She's wicked stoked about it. So,
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. She's got, like Maddie Milhorn and stuff like that. They're pretty tight. They're, she talks to them and stuff like that. And that's another awesome thing about that program, right? Is those girls, they take the little girls under their wing, and it really builds good ball players, right?
Sure.
When you can see that next level and see that work, and it pays off, and they're like, wow, I get played. If you've never been to the Jane,
right,
it's a ball field like I've never seen before, right? Like, it's gorgeous.
Fantastic.
It's gorgeous. And then, like, you get to step out onto that field, and it lights a whole new fire. So
yeah,
it's super cool.
Yeah. So she's actually in contact with Maddie. Like, does she FaceTime her, or like,
they talk.
That's so badass.
Yeah, they talk. Yep.
That's so badass.
And then it was Kai
valuable.
Luchar too last year. Well, we went to I guess we'll talk about the Ducks for a little bit.
Yeah, why not? Go Ducks.
We went to a couple games, and then I told McKinley's like, I want to go back. And I was like, okay. And I said, if they make a super, I said, I'll buy us tickets. Well, they made the super, right? And I was like, well, all right, I'll buy us tickets. So I bought tickets, and we went to all 3 super regional games. And we were sitting out in the bob out in the center field, and Paige Sinicki's dad was out there, and they're doing the Go Ducks chant, right?
Is it Sinicki or is it Sinicki?
I think it's Sinicki.
Sinicki.
Yeah,
okay.
Sinicki.
I'm trying to get it right, people. I'm trying to get it right.
Her dad, Chuck, is super cool, by the way. Chuck, if you're watching this, you're rad. But they're doing the Go Ducks thing, and there's this guy, big, huge guy with a big handlebar mustache, and we're sitting in the front row, and Kinley looks at this guy, and she's like, are you somebody's dad? And he's like, no, I'm somebody's brother. She's like, who? He said, the Luchar sisters, and Mike McKinley loves Kai Luchar. That's like her idol.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. And he's like, well, you want to meet her? She's like, yeah. And she already had met her before. And the guy gave me his phone number, and we'd messaged back and forth. Well, through the weekend, she met her a few times, and we kind of got in with the family, right? Kinley is a gregarious little thing. So, like, all the parents and stuff, they're like, hey, it's Kinley, come on over here. And so it's the last game, and they're doing the trophy, and all the family gets to go on in the field. And I'm standing up there, and the family's like, where's Kinley? They're like, get her over here.
Nice.
So they're like, you guys, come on, we're going out on the field.
So cool.
So we got to go out on the field for like the prayer afterwards, and the trophy presentation, and all the pictures, and all that's just another thing that made her be like cemented softball for her, right? That's
cool.
her goal, man, is to be a Duck.
Yeah.
Which is a freaking lofty goal, but
it is a lofty goal, because there's not that many girls that come out of Oregon.
No, but I think they have
the
3 right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Trinity Holden, Maddie. Well, Maddie's not from Oregon though. Maddie's from
Washington.
Yeah, she's from
Vancouver. Yeah,
there's a few, but not a lot.
Maybe two.
I think
that's
there might
pretty
be
close
2.
though. I would almost consider Vancouver PDX.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
close
from
enough.
Vancouver. You know, what I'm saying?
Close enough. But it was just a super cool experience, and the whole camp and everything, right? Like, she's just locked in with the Ducks now. Like,
that's amazing.
That's her thing.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a good program to be locked in with right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Melissa Lombardi, she got that program handed over to her from Mike White, and Mike White obviously did a lot of good things with it to kind of get it going. And she just took it to another level. So I'm really anxious to see what the Ducks do. Although they haven't really started out the season all that great this year.
Yeah, version 8's kind of struggling right now. But
it's
the first game was wild.
Yeah, they'll find it though.
Yeah,
they'll find their bats. I think that's what's kind of they're struggling right now. They're not hitting real well.
As far as being as far as the whole bucket dad thing, this is one thing I gotta hand it to Josh Jarvis, bro. You, my man, are committed to your kid, bro.
Oh yeah,
dude. When it comes to, we touched on a couple things. You said they gotta want it. Kinley clearly fucking wants it, bro. There's no doubt she wants it.
Oh yeah,
she's 9. She's gonna want that, right? She's right, bro. If anybody gives it, like, bro, you do an amazing job providing that life for her. Traveling. If you guys don't know where he lives,
yeah, dude.
I mean, geographically, just for practices twice a week.
That's 45 minutes one way.
One way. Not counting D-bat once or twice a week. Not counting games out in Newburgh.
Yeah.
Both days out of the weekend.
Catching practices in Cornelius.
Bro.
Yeah. Hitting practice in Cornelius.
You and your wife.
Yeah.
So, your whole, bro, I keep saying, bro, I hand it to you, man. I couldn't do it. I'd be like, yeah, you're going to play out here. You're going to find a team in St. Helens, kid.
Well, and
you know,
there is teams out there, right? There's a few teams out there, and she's
you guys found a cool little home, though.
Yeah.
And it's a good little vibe.
I've always said it's her journey, right? It's her softball journey. You play wherever you want. I facilitate. I'll sign the check and drive you to where you need to go. You play where you want to play.
Well,
and
hats off to you, man, for doing that, because those are a lot of freaking hours that you spend on the road. Besides, luckily, you were just talking about, you work close to home, so at least you don't have to commute to work.
Nope.
So that's a plus. Because I'm commuting, to and from Portland, to and from Swan Island daily, and then when we go do practices, it's like, okay, another 20 minutes, boom. Then we go games on Newark. And my mind's only like half your distance.
Oh, dude, Newburgh, those morning games at Newburgh, man, when you get that 8 o'clock game and you got to be there at 7. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning, right?
So are we.
It's rough.
Gosh.
Yeah. I mean, because like I have an ADHD kid, so it takes extra time for us to get her ready. So you're getting up because you have the extra drive. I'm getting up early because I have a freaking extra kid. Like she's extra. Shit.
But honestly, like I've said it before, there's no place I'd rather be, right? Like I enjoy watching not just my kid, right? Like your kid and yours. I've watched yours play a pile of games, man. And I'm just in it for, like we were saying earlier, like I love watching them succeed. Yeah. Like where they struggle and then all of a sudden they get that double or they make that diving catch and throw the girl out, right? Yeah. And the face lights up and they're like, I can't believe I did it. And I'm like, I knew you could do it. Yeah. You just didn't know you could do it, right? Yeah. And to me, that's what it's about, right? Like that's the cool part.
Yeah, it is the cool part.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, man. It's there's I knew I would like it. I didn't realize that I'd get freaking addicted to it. Yeah. Like like when softball season starts again, you're like, fuck fantasy football, fuck this other bullshit. All I want to do is go to the softball field and watch softball. That's all I want to do. I could do it all day long, and it's fine. If we have to wait an hour or so, that's fine. I'll go watch another game. There's games everywhere else. So like, check this out, and then every once in a while you get that good old drama to watch. Good stuff.
Oh, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. As I'm finding out, we were talking the other day, you were like, what'd you say? Drama in the LBC, bro? It seems like that's the case. We were just talking about. It's like that with every organization. We've talked about it before. It clearly, we're going to stay organized. We're not going on the organizations, but clearly girls aren't getting together in the off season scrimmaging. No, you got all these weird coaches with weird coach beefs. Rob and I call it the I stole your girlfriend from the high school or kissed your girl at the high school dance beefs.
We got a coach that we're gonna have on here, and we have lots of coaches that are coming on here. So this is not giving away any names. And he basically was like, yeah, I'll come. I'm not even gonna act out his voice so no one knows who he is. He's like, yeah, I'll come on here, but we can't be talking about.
He knows him. He knows him very
the reason why this and this and why I left this and this. And I'm like, man, guys, listen. You may not want to talk about it. Yeah. But that's what makes the podcast good.
Well, that's
the juice. That's what makes it go viral. And not only that, maybe there's some miscommunications that have happened, and by getting it out, we can actually start to mend the fences a little bit. Because
and get past
the telephone game runs really hard in the softball community. Someone says one thing, and about a week later, it's a completely different thing, and people are wanting to fight over it. Yeah, it's like. Come on, guys. Let's just talk it out.
I think too, it's like everyone's so scared, and for legit reason, right? Because it's obviously happened in the past, but coaches are scared that other coaches are going to scout their players. You know what I mean? That's right. And it's a legit issue. And so I think that's the freaking beef. That's the girl that got kissed at the high school dance by the other coach. You know what I'm saying? And It's ridiculous. Like, we won't name names, but I know there's 2 old guys. There's 2 older coaches in our community, bro. I know for a fact they must have like shared the same girlfriend in high school, because it just goes back to old drama and old beef. And it's like, hey, let all that crap go. If it's truly about the girls and softball and then becoming better players, and if it's truly about player development, and if it's truly about them being the best player possible, then don't be fucking hurt when your kid goes and plays for a team where she could grow more through. Yeah. You know what I mean? If at the end of the day, if it comes down to the kid, it's the coaches that get butt hurt over this. And I get it, but like, if it's truly about the kid, then that's how I feel.
And the other thing too is like, you know, if you find out that your method isn't like looked at by everybody else as the right method, then maybe you should look at why. Yeah. Not just be like, oh, they're wrong, I've been doing this for this. No, dude. Yeah. The information's out there. You have AI out there. Look it up. Look it the fuck up and correct yourself. Seriously.
You got to grow as a coach. Yeah. Right? Like, I've been coaching for a few years now, right? And I've changed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But
we don't coach the same we did in the 40s.
You have to grow as a coach.
That's part of having the passion for learning versus the passion for showing. Like, you need to learn first before you show. You don't want to show people the wrong methods, right? And I mean, like, you know, I'm just going to throw like the number one red flag out there of all the old school coaching things for me and for a lot of people. And I don't know about you, but this is my thing. If you look it up on AI, it's like the number one red flag. Squish the bug.
Yeah.
Stop saying squish the bug. It doesn't make you look good. Whoever you are saying squish the bug, it is a big red flag, dude. It's a huge red flag. It is one of the biggest signs that you haven't looked things up, because everybody knows that has looked into it. I know you know this, is that when you swing, it's not about rear rotation. It's about front side resistance and pushing the weight into the front side resistance and freaking having that leverage with the hip snapping and basically driving that back knee towards the front knee. That's where the power comes from.
Loading the spring.
Yeah. You know, and it's like, and like, I get it. Like back in the day, back in the T-ball days, you want them to start rotating and like, you know, you say the squish the bug, but honestly, it's a bad idea. Yeah. It's a bad idea, because then what happens is you get these players that put too much weight on their back leg, and then over time, it's really hard for them to start driving that hip forward. And all they do is they kind of fall back. And when they fall back, you know what happens when they fall back?
You hit fly balls.
You hit fly balls. You know why you hit fly balls?
Because you're dipping.
Because you dip your back shoulder because you're falling back.
Well, it's just like this. Just imagine all the coaches used to teach hello elbow, and then eventually the times have changed.
I know.
And they learned different freaking mechanics.
Science is amazing, boys.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
God, dude. Yeah. Like 4D motion, physics, you know, like got motion captures they put on pitchers and like hitters. That's how they figure this shit out, people. It's not just like people have these ideas. They literally track the physics that is happening for optimal movements. We didn't have this stuff 30 years ago. We didn't have this stuff. We have it now. So since we have it now, do your homework as coaches and look this shit up before you start teaching the wrong stuff to these kids, and then they start developing these habits and you make them worse.
Or you promote a bad habit that imposes injury.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst, right?
Yeah, you impose like a bad throwing motion that you're going to tear a shoulder up or an elbow, or like that's the thing too. And it's not just a hard habit to break, but you're setting them up for failure in the future, where you're not going to have any longevity because you're going to tear your arm up, or you're going to tear your knees up, or there's longevity.
100%. Like in pitching, like talking about the hello elbow thing, that was the whole reason why like I was quick on switching Ziva off of that. Like within the first 2 weeks you first started pitching, I looked the shit up because I'm like, I haven't been pitched. First of all, I've never been a fast pitch pitcher. It's been a long time since I've been in the game. Let's look stuff up and let's check out like 20 different videos and see who's on what tip. And it's like the first few videos I found were hello elbow, and almost all the rest were like no hello elbow, internal rotation, got to have the whip, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, thank God I looked this shit up. Because the first pitching coach she had was teaching hello elbow, you know, touch your nose. And I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. No, dude. No,
I'm a proponent of going to the programs that succeed, right? Like go watch, like, I'm a Scappoose guy, right? St. Helens Scappoose. Scappoose has got a wicked good softball program, right? how are they teaching those girls to hit? Because those
Yeah.
girls are hitting 19 home runs a year.
Second or first in state?
Second, and then St. Helens also was in the running, right? So both those teams they're good teams, right? So you got to look at what they're doing, because there's a reason they're winning.
It's not just the accident, guys. It's not the accident why those teams succeed. The coaches are on it. They figured it out. Yeah. And the thing is that you don't have to have a bunch of money to figure it out. You need the internet. You need the internet, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and you need to freaking make playlists and figure this shit out.
And an open mind to try and
no ego.
Get rid of the ego.
Let your ego go.
Right there.
It's not about if you're right or wrong. It's about if you get it correct.
Let your ego go and realize that maybe you don't have all the answers, and it's a dynamic thing, right? You're going to grow.
Yeah, assume that you're wrong. Assume that you're wrong and try to like prove to yourself that you're right, because if you just think that you're right, you're never going to learn. You got to constantly be looking for like the next best thing. And then the thing is that not always the next best thing isn't always right, but the thing is that with today's technology, with physics and science, it's becoming more and more right, chances are. Whereas before it was like, oh, like for example, Crowhop. Okay. So back in like the 90s, everybody was doing the side step and the pro step, the step behind for like long throws. And then probably like right around my freshman year, the Crowhop started getting really big, where basically they're teaching you to jump in front of your front leg with your back leg, not behind, not side, but in front, and then land and drop. You get online and look at like outfield throws over like the last 30 years on like the greatest outfield throws ever in the MLB. Nobody is crow hopping.
Bo Jackson, baby.
He doesn't even crow hop. He sidesteps and step behind. Ichiro, it doesn't even matter if he fields it on a side that you would think the crow hop was. He's always sidestep. Everybody sidesteps. So crow hopping got huge in like the 90s, and then right around like 2008, 2010, coaches started going back to the sidestep and the backstep. And there's a couple reasons. One, you get more power because you get your hips closed. Two, what they found out is that the people that were doing crow hops were doing them wrong, and they were taking an extra 1 or 2 steps to set up the crow hop, and it was actually causing them to slow down the release. So the point is that even if you learn something new, you need to check yourself every few years, every like 5 years or so, just to make sure that that's still the right thing, because shit comes and goes. Sometimes it ain't right. Sometimes it is, and
plus he just nailed it too. He's like, what are the winning people doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you got to be a student of the game, right? You got to be a student of the game. You got to learn the game. If you're going to try to teach people the game, you have to learn the game. And the progression of the game. To me, it's the you got to put as much time into coaching as you're expecting your players to put in to their progression, right?
Sure.
Like you have to learn as much as you're trying to get them to learn.
Correct.
You have to put in the same amount of time that they're doing. You can't expect them to do what you're asking them to do if you're not doing any work yourself, right? Yeah. It's got to be reciprocal.
Yeah. And honestly, like I think if you're a student of the game, which I consider myself to be, I know you consider yourself to be, I'm sure you do too. You just don't have a whole lot of time to do it because, you're working your ass off and doing all that shit. But still, you're trying to learn as much as possible. You're trying to hold on to the good stuff. Like I watch a lot of videos. I don't save them all. I save maybe 25% of them in playlists, maybe, because there's a lot of crap out there, you know. But but I go back and I look at those playlists like, I don't know, maybe once every month and a half now, probably, just to refresh my memory. And by doing that, it sticks. You say, like Ziva's like, oh yeah, I already saw that. I'm like, when did you see that? Oh, I saw that a few months ago. I'm like, well, watch it again, dude. Like, you can't just see something once and do it. It's not, you're not like Johnny Mnemonic where it's like jacked in your brain. It's stuck forever. You gotta
I know Kung Fu.
Yeah. Right. You gotta be a student of the game. And like you said, like you said, Josh, that you have to learn. If you want to teach it, you have to learn it, and you don't just regurgitate it. You need to really understand it and give examples and stuff like that, and like be able to pull up examples real quick. Like, like for example, with me, since I can't really act it all out because, I'm slightly crippled, I have to freaking use like YouTube and stuff like that to like
I'm the same way. I've got terrible knees, right? I'm bone on bone in my knees. I can't do all the stuff.
Get down and pop stance
I can't
and hold
do
it. Yeah, right.
You guys should see me field. I'm crazy, bro. I'm so good. I swear to God. Not even lying.
Yeah. He actually, you know what, guys?
I ain't even lying.
He's not lying. So, did he tell you about that? Did he tell you about that? Dude, tell Josh about what happened.
I mean, it's just a dumb story, but
it's not a dumb story,
bro.
Chad. First of all, you're between 40 and 50, right?
I'll be 49 this year.
Okay.
And so my kid,
This is
she
impressive.
takes, like yours does, like we all do, right? They take hitting lessons. And so we're out at Glencoe High School on their field. They got a badass softball program too. And anyways, we're out there, and Abby just got this in the mail a couple days before, you know what I mean? It just showed up. And so, all right, she's off the tee, you know what I mean? I'm thinking there's going to be a couple. I just start getting into it. She hits one. Crack. My shoulder's messed up because I am 49. I did tear my rotator cuff, guys. I swear to you, I did. My shoulder's messed up. I try to, I'm like, okay, kind of roll it back, you know what I mean? She hits another one, bro. I run, boom. I'm not lying, Josh. I'm not lying, bro. Three balls got past me on that first bucket.
Wow.
I ain't even lying, bro.
That's
Except
awesome.
for the ones that were obviously not obtainable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The ones that were
Yeah,
like,
that was a base hit. That was a base hit.
You know what I mean? But like I was at second base, bro, and I got to the point where like real quick, which it's not real hard, but you can kind of see where the ball's gonna go right before that. You know, you can see where the feet are at.
Especially off tee.
I dove. I'm vertical.
Oh my God.
Dude, I'm in the air.
Dude, I would
Kendall's like, what the hell?
Oh
She's
my
looking at like, who is this
God.
guy? Abby's all, good job, Dad.
Oh
Sign him
my
up. Sign him
God,
up.
that's amazing.
I was crushing it, guy. I'm telling you. So for a guy that doesn't have much experience, it wasn't nothing getting past me, bro.
That's right.
That's
danger.
The wall out there,
It was a
baby.
danger. Be a wall, bro. Be a problem out there.
Ozzie Smith.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that was my hero.
I want to
pinch
go.
that
I want
glove
to. I
like
want to
that.
go to the next one that you do that. I'll bring a camera.
I want you to actually, because the next one I went to, I brought the action camera with me.
I'll just put it on the chest.
Well, no, well, that's for another. So I went through the whole package. There's a couple things we got to work out. I got the head thing to clip on.
Oh,
That's where I'm
okay.
at. I got
All
the
right,
head
sweet,
piece.
sweet.
This piece down here, we're missing a couple. Anyways, that's another subject. But anyways, I get it all set up. This is another stupid ass story, bro. The two are warming up. Abby's warming up with Kendall. I'm like, guys, don't mind me. I'm just an idiot. I got this thing on my head. I got my hat on, right? I'm a total dead. Wearing white New Balances. I may as well have been wearing New Balances, bro, with my jean shorts and my fucking shirt tucked in, right? And I got this thing, and I'm like, don't mind me, guys. I just want to see how this records. I got the lapel mic on. I've got it angled somewhere else because I've been messing with it to see where it picks up better sound, right? I got this in my pocket. All right, guys, I'm just going to walk the base here, and I'm talking. I'm like, yeah, so anyways, Abby's hitting up against the tee right now. Kendall's loading the tee for her, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to just go through it, right? And I get done, and I'm watching the video, and I'm like, I hit play, and he goes, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I had it in the wrong mode.
Oh no!
my
Hell of
three-
a fielder,
my
not a
3 minute
great
video. My
producer.
3 minute video was in the time lapse.
Oh shit! Super Chad.
Yeah, but I did get the audio.
man.
It was hilarious.
Oh.
I'm like, never mind. Which I didn't get a chance to field anyways because they were strictly doing a catching lesson.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't get the opportunity. I don't think they were ready for me anyways. I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready for your dad right now, bro. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna call
Yeah,
it, man.
man.
But
Yeah.
that was a great episode.
Thanks for having me,
Hey,
guys. I
thank
really
you for
appreciate it.
showing
Thanks for
up,
coming
man.
on, man.
Absolutely, Rob.
Lot of
It
fun.
was a pleasure.
Yeah,
I was
man.
knocking it out
Lots
of
of
the park.
fun.
Yeah, I'll reach
Hey.
across. I'll reach.
Oh yeah. Hey, before we sign off, guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much. We need to go back to the beginning of the episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, do all those things. You can leave nasty grams. We don't care. But please do like and subscribe on our YouTube channel.
Also, within the next 2 or 3 days, Spotify will be live. We'll be having all of our tracks on there and all of our podcasts on there as well. So definitely check out Spotify and like it and leave a review. It helps the algorithm on Spotify and also all the different other podcast places like Apple and Tidal and whatever wherever you go get your
Wherever you get your podcast.
it'll be there. We're gonna load up the internet.
Absolutely.
So,
Thanks again, Josh. Appreciate you
thanks
coming
a lot,
out,
I
man.
man.
appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Yeah, good luck this season, my friend.
Yeah, you guys
Absolutely.
too.
All right, take
All
care.
right.
Bye.
Peace.
Braids tight, mask down. My house. My rules. Let's work. Yeah, yeah, flashback. suit of armor on, yeah, I'm strapped in the gear. I'm the loudest on the dirt, making everything clear. Framing up the black, still a strike for the squad. Blocking balls in the dirt like a softball god. Got a cannon for an arm, don't you test that lid. Throwing runners out, yeah, I leave them on red. I'm the most understanding when the errors start to show. But I'm the general out here, I'm the master of the flow. I'm the mind in the mask, the heart of the home. Managing the strategy until the hitters go. From the pop-up spin to the tag at the plate, I'm the one who decides the other team's fate. Yeah, I'm the leader, the tempo, the soul. Fast pitch queen, I'm in total control. Runner on second, yeah, I see you trying to peep. Switching up the indicators, secrets that I keep. High heat, low curve, sequencing the pain. Planning out the pitches, messing with your brain. Walk to the mound, talk about some silly stuff, just to keep my pitcher calm when the game is getting rough. Break the momentum, keep the blue on my side. A professional relation, yeah, I take it with pride. Turn my back to the field on the pop-up flies. Fighting front spin, jumping up for the rise. Strength in the gym, then I'm hitting the books. It's more than just the talent and the athlete looks. I'm the mind in the mask, the heart of the home. Managing the strategy until the hitters go. From the pop-up spin to the tag at the plate, I'm the one who decides the other team's fate. Yeah, I'm the leader of the tempo, the soul. Fast pitch queen, I'm in total control. Feel the blunt through the one, yeah. Run down the third, now the runner is done. A little chatter in the box, keep them off of their feet. Disrupt the routine, feel the fast pitch heat. When the team is feeling down, I'm the one to pull them through. From the lessons to the grades, yeah, I do what I do. Infield and trick plays on. The play is mine. Yeah, the plate is mine. Mask down.